Hello, I'm Adriana. Welcome to my channel. In order to become a pure vessel for information from the other side, I have worked on myself, worked on my issues every day for the last 8 years. And this allows me to bring forward the high vibration information to help those of us who are on a path of growth. I have a different sort of message today. This is going to be a collective message. I'm going to use the tarot cards, but it's past, present, and future. Where were we? Where are we now? Where are we headed? Okay. 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands, and Death. Okay. 554. Interesting. So we're headed. I'm going to start with the future because this is interesting. The way these cards out, even though this is the future is looking back at the past. So we're definitely in a state of transformation. And not only are we in a state of transformation, we are headed for transformation. The message here is change. We are all headed for big change. And the Death card is very significant being in the future because death is a total metamorphosis. It's an alchemy. It's a break from the past. It is a change into something new that we don't know what it looks like, where we don't know what it looks like. But it's a process that makes us more whole than before. The problem is in a place of not being whole or in a place of being broken, we don't know what wholeness feels like, looks like, tastes like. And this is the chance to literally begin life again, to begin anew. And we're in the transitional phase right now, the 5 of Wands. And I think as a culture, it's maybe a little bit discouraging because it seems like for every bit of progress we make, we also make these steps backwards, or the opposition throws in things against us. But what we're not understanding is that both the light and the dark are being alchemized. Both the light and the dark are being brought together to create a new life, to have a rebirth. And so what we really need to give up is this mentality of win, lose, fighting, losing, winning, losing. Because there's always going to be winners and there's always going to be losers. 5 of Cups is talking a lot about loss and not looking at the future as something positive. It's more looking at what did I lose in the past. And a lot of what's happening right now is we're losing control, losing time, losing whatever it was, losing comfort. And we could also be looking at what we're gaining and why we have to lose what we lose in order to gain. So it's looking at this as a pair, again, the duality, looking at it as a 2 rather than the loss of the 5. So if you are feeling like, okay, I'm losing control over this, or I'm going to go through this loss, why? What are you gaining? What are you gaining? And in understanding what you're gaining, then we can bring loss and gain together in one, alchemize it, and the life begins anew. Okay? We're so stuck in this mentality of us versus them and my agenda versus your agenda, or all of that. But if we could really start to see this as the side of the same coin that for us means nothing but growth, then that's a good thing. When a plant is growing, sometimes in order to grow new leaves, it has to shed the old. And in fact, this is great. When you prune trees, they tend to grow faster. It actually encourages them to grow more. So when we encounter a loss, our soul actually sees that as a point of growth. It sees that as a point of gain. But if we are so focused in the ego duality or the ego way of looking at things that sees, oh, this is only loss. I'm only going to keep losing. I've lost this and I'm going to lose this and I've lost this in the past and I no longer have this. Then we're stuck. Then we can't go through this transformation in a way that supports us and in a way that's going to actually make it, quite frankly, easier. if we're no longer resisting the loss, if we're no longer resisting that idea of letting go, then life is a lot different. I was just talking about this with someone earlier, with a friend earlier today. I have an elderly pet, and it's really hard every day to, and he's not really close, but in my mind he's close, because my time with him is longer than the time I've had with him is longer than the time I feel I still have left with him. So it's hard not to think about that every day. And I'm getting even emotional kind of talking about it right now. But I can't go through the rest of our time together thinking about loss, because if I do that, I miss out having time with him. I miss out on gaining time with him and gaining stronger memories, gaining a deeper connection with him that will persist even when his physical body passes. So that's only one way that you can look at this. I think what is coming through is a lot bigger than that, but it's understanding that loss and gain go together, and that when they come together, there's growth, there's rebirth, there's the new life stepping forward. All right, I'm going to draw one more oracle to close for us. Be your best self always. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Our best self is not focused on the past. Our best self is not worried about the future. Our best self is taking what we have gone through in the past, learning from it, looking forward to the future, because there's new adventures, there's new ways to experience life. And going through loss, going through the past is essential to experiencing life more fully in the future. But if we remember to always stay in our best self, we always stay in that present moment. And that's really where I think the joy, the diversity, the openness, and the possibilities all come together to create a much more expansive, supportive, loving future. All right, thanks for joining me for this. Trying out different kinds of formats right now. If you have any suggestions or requests, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you soon.